3, 2, 1.
Well, as you can see, the United States looks like a weather war zone with all those alerts. I really wanted to come on earlier and go over two main topics and cover all these alerts, and I had extreme technical difficulties that sent me spiraling into a downward circle of depression and despair. So before I get started here, I better have a beer. Okay, this is a BYOB broadcast, so drink them if you got them, because we got a lot to cover here. First of all and foremost, Conover. This dissipated a lot. This area down here earlier today was a huge flash flood warning. It looks like it's not as bad now, but it used to go from here to here, and Kentucky is still under the warning. Looks like they had predicted that in the early morning. The forecast was for a month's worth of rain in tonight and tomorrow in this area, and I think they revised that down now, hopefully. But, you know, that's a month's worth of rain for that area. I don't know how much that is. I'm not going to do the research on that right now. But it looks like still we've got flash flood watch, Greenville, Spartanburg, South Carolina. Now, earlier, Conover, was it North Carolina, declared a state of emergency. So, looks like now the flash flooding is Greenville, Simpsonville, Spartanburg, Hendersonville, Asheville, Newland, Boone, Morganton, Lenoir, Hickory, Statesville, Mooresville, Charlotte, Gastonia, York, Shelby, and all points in between that circle. If you're traveling through South Carolina, North Carolina, I-26, Interstate 26, and Interstate 40 would be the areas affected. So, let's take a look at Kentucky here. Pretty much the whole state under a flash flood watch or advisory, flash flood watch. See this area here, Tennessee, significant weather. Knoxville, flood advisory. Let's look that up real quick. You can see 72 degrees, 100%. Rain, low winds, thunderstorms ending at 3 a.m. Advisory, I don't know, is that in between a warning and a watch? Be cautious, turn around, don't drown. I guess it means we're advised of flooding. So, that's kind of the big story of today. The first big story, flooding. Let's see what's going on over here in Virginia by Lynchburg. Special weather statement. I'm sure they're getting some of the thunderstorm. Flood advisory there. Smaller area. Near Chase City. Let's look at Virginia Beach here. Small craft advisory. That's been ongoing for some time. High winds, rough waters. Same thing up in here. This is Great Lakes. This is one of the big stories. The water levels in the Great Lakes are at record highs. Water levels are rising. Lake Shore Flood Watch. Both Buffalo, New York. Detroit. Lakeshore flood warning. Not good. That's a pretty large area. I mean, pretty far inland to be having a lakeshore flood warning. All the way to Romulus, Plymouth, affecting Interstate 275 south end, west, up here into Washington Township, Romeo, Armada, Richmond. It's a pretty big area of ground to have a lakeshore flood warning. going that far inland. Here's some more warnings around the shore of the lake here. Let's see what this is. Small craft advisory that extends all the way up. The waters are getting turbulent and tossing and turning and getting rough and windy. Northern Michigan, lakeshore flood warning. Another large area. From the center there, Traverse City, Highway 31, south from Manistee, Pleasanton, Glen Arbor, Leland, North Point, Sutton's Bay. It looks like it's your turn to be in the hot seat. Lakeshore flood advisory. This is southwestern Michigan and northwest Indiana. And also a beach hazard statement there. Not real far from Chicago. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that pop up for Chicago soon with a dense fog advisory, because once you understand the trends of what's happening with these Great Lakes, the water levels are rising and all of the flood warnings and the rivers are swelling. It's obvious, that if that trend continues, we're going to see more and more shoreline being threatened. Severe thunderstorm watch again down in Texas. They've really been getting hit hard for a couple weeks. That's mostly south central Texas. Hebronville, San Antonio again. So, these places, they're probably going to be having some flooding just because of the continuing thunderstorms and the amount of continuous precipitation. We still have all this river flooding in the Mississippi River Basin. Out here, Nebraska, frost advisories. Also, Wyoming, Laramie, and north of Laramie. Backside of the Rockies in Colorado, frost advisories. Craig, Colorado. West Wyoming, Pinedale, Jackson, frost advisories. Winter weather advisories. Nevada, Elko, Ely, some river flooding there, and looks like Reno probably has wind advisories. Special weather statement, we better check that out. Special weather statement for Reno, Nevada. Increasing temperatures will produce swift and cold river and stream flows in and near the Sierra. With temperatures rising well above normal through Wednesday, we will see a return to rapid melting of the high elevation snowpack. So, increased flows and swift. That means White River rafting. Of course, if you're downstream, that could be a problem. But campers and hikers, be alert for snow bridges over creeks, higher elevations, and don't camp close to creeks. So it looks like Reno's getting their turn in the weather. California's been a big weather alert lately. Excessive heat warning in the south and now in the north. Seriously, 4 days ago, this area was of Northern California was a frost and winter weather advisory. Now it's a heat advisory, including Medford, Oregon. So what are we seeing? We're seeing turbulent extremes. We're seeing fast changing weather and extreme weather and continuous thunderstorms. One thing I noticed was down here there's actually a area called Samoa, and it looks like the United States kind of took over some of the Samoan islands for them. And here in Pago Pago, they have coastal flood statement with 13-foot wave warnings. But don't worry, because people there actually climb trees by putting their shirts around their feet. True story. So that's it for severe weather alerts. I'm going to come back on and show some other things that are going on with the Great Lakes flooding and one other thing I forgot.